It's metal for the masses. It's the only place that plays it harder, faster, and louder than anybody else on live365.com. Tonight, or today, or whenever you'll be listening to this, I am joined once again by the band Sagen, whom have graced our presence here on Metal for the Masses, many a time. But they are here to talk about what they are calling their, I believe you guys are calling it Whale Fall.
Mm-hmm. That is
But
right.
hell yeah. One, go ahead, introduce yourselves. There's a gentleman here who I have not had the pleasure of meeting. I believe some shit has happened since the last time I talked to Sagen. But and then just let us know, what is Whale Fall?
Who's going first?
I guess you are, sir.
All right. So my name's Adam Cheatham. I am the vocals for the band. I initially did vocals for Mammoth, and I'm sure we'll go over it, but after all the stuff went down, I was asked to be a part of the project moving forward, and here I am. I'm pretty excited. New music's it. Did I miss a question?
No, and I guess he was supposed to introduce himself, but as always, it's Stephen Haggerty of Sagen.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm Stephen Haggerty. I do the guitar music, stuff like that. But yeah, we're super excited to talk to you tonight about the album. We are naming it Whale Fall, which is there's been a lot of thought and long process on naming it and what the story's about and all that stuff. So I'm sure we'll get more into it later. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. The music's coming along great. I'm so excited to get Adam's vocals on these songs, and I think it's gonna be a great album.
Hell yeah. Were any whales hurt in the production of this album? I don't want Greenpeace on our ass.
No whales were hurt. Well, there were a couple of pictures of dead whales that
hopefully that's fine.
Were used as references for some stuff, but
it's all right. I'll take all the brunt of the Greenpeace activists.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
No worries. So Whale Fall, what does it mean? Like what is it? What's the premise of the album, I guess? And what's different from, albums past?
So the term whale fall is actually used in I guess let's say the scientific community, animal community. It's when a whale dies, usually naturally. A lot of the times they're just too weak to get to the surface for air, so they kind of just die, but they fall to the floor of the ocean, and they become a buffet slash housing for over 200 species of animals. It's kind of it's a big circle of life moment.
Nature's recycling, pretty much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And one of the really cool aspects about it is that they take a lot of the what is it? What am I thinking? Carbon dioxide? Yeah. Basically the stuff that eats up the atmosphere, stuff like that. They have it in their body from, just living life and whatever. And when they go down, they trap it in the sea floor, in the soil, minerals for thousands of years. So whales as a whole are a big part of the ecosystem, I guess.
Gotcha. So I'm no scientist, but would that necessarily mean that the whole save the whales, crusade is actually more harmful to the environment than as you would probably just say letting the whales die?
That's a good question. But I think if there's more whales that are dying, it's better, would be better, right? Like,
We're getting into a hell of a way to start this interview here.
but
Metal for the
anyways,
masses. Fuck the whales. Let them die.
so for us in this story that we've got, and it goes it the every album before this one has been connected in loosely in a way. This one directly connects all of them. Um, I'm not sure how much we should give away, but
Probably not too much.
I guess we could. Should we give away where whales are from?
Where are whales from?
I mean, you set it up. You got to finish it off.
Yeah. So
Is this
for
going to
us-
end with a your mom joke? Because if it is,
No.
man, I'm just going to call this interview a wash.
in our storyline, whales are from a different planet.
Okay.
And you'll see why and how, and the ramifications of them coming to Earth in this album.
All right.
And this is essentially a part one, and album 5 will be part 2 of this bigger kind of chunk of story. But it's all albums 1 through 5 are all connected as well.
Gotcha. So kind of delving into, so Whale Fall is kind of delving into where whales come from. It's a like theoretical or kind of scientific here where whales
It's
come
like
from?
it's sci-fi stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So kind of like the I don't know if any of you guys watch Star Wars. There's oh, all right, cool. In one of the shows, Rebels, there are these cosmic space entities that are actually like space whales,
Yeah.
Right.
and they can actually, without any kind of help, they travel at light speed.
Right. I watched the recent or I saw like 2 episodes of the new Ahsoka
Yeah,
show, and
Mhm.
they had the whales in there.
where they Moby Dicked their way to
Yeah,
the one guy. Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
yeah, it was pretty awesome. Okay, kind of gonna get away from the stupid dad jokes here and kind of get more serious here. So there's a huge difference with this album, as opposed to the last album, that I believe I have seen through your social media. A lot of kind of positions in the band have changed since the last time.
Wee bit.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit, right?
Tiny changes.
Do we want to kind of delve into that? And is everybody still on good terms? Is it still a touchy subject, or?
Oh yeah, we're still on good terms, I think. We don't talk as much as I would hope for, but everyone's kind of busy doing
Right.
newer projects and stuff like that. So I understand it a lot. There wasn't like there wasn't much animosity during the split. It was more of just, these are the circumstances and situations that we're in right now. And gigging was just too hard, especially for me.
Because what I saw, because I'm gonna break the cycle here. From the chats that I've seen in Metal Incorporated, you are a very active participant in the Metal Incorporated chat. From what I kind of got from it, it was some people wanted to tour and do gigs and do shows, and some people it just wasn't possible.
Yeah, mainly me. I mean, all the guys, they love playing live music. That's kind of what they were getting out of it in a lot of ways. Because I handled almost all of the songwriting and stuff like that. So yeah, I think they love that aspect of playing live, fan interactions, stuff like that. But for me personally, it just didn't, having the kid, not really wanting to be away from him,
Right.
crashing my car, not really making money like at all. It didn't work out for me to gig. They did some gigging together without me for a bit, and that worked well. But I could kind of tell that there was a certain point where I just kind of wanted to take it back to just being online. That's how I originally created it. It was just for me to release music. It was just an outlet for that. Um, and then Jordan Brown, he convinced me to, dude, let's get a band going, let's go gig. And I was like, okay, cool. But I really just I don't enjoy gigging as much as they did. So it was kind of like me quitting the band, but at the same time, it didn't really work because I was writing most of the stuff and everything like that. So I was
Gotcha.
like, hey guys, I'm gonna probably just go online, and they already had some projects that they were interested in and doing some stuff on their own. So um, it was just kind of like a fresh new start back to the beginning, and
Gotcha.
I've loved it so far. I do miss them and everything, and the fun times we had and stuff, but um, it's been great just being able to kind of do whatever and
So
really.
in a way, you kind of reversed Dave Mustaine, and
Yeah.
you came into contact with this great man here who sir, tell us a bit about yourself. You mentioned that former Mammoth member and now part of Sagen. How did this come to be, and what's your thoughts on the project so far?
Um, where to begin? I remember I was friends with the previous drummer, Derek Kinney. We go that's actually funny. We go way back. Like the first band I was ever in was with him, and it was really bad. Really bad, like wannabe gothic metal. It was so sad, but we did our best. It was awesome. And I remember hearing the Mammoth album, and at the time they didn't have a vocalist, and I was like, "Hey!" So at the time I was also living in Seattle, and band was located in North Carolina. So like, obviously, if I did anything, it would have to be kind of on an online basis anyway, because I wasn't going to come to North Carolina to play shows, although that would have been sick. Um, and I was just threw it out there like, hey, if you need someone to do vocals on it, I could do it. And basically, for one reason or another, I actually did get to do vocals for it. Had my little makeshift home studio and pumped out the album that is Mammoth. And yeah, I was pretty happy with it. The main reason why we ended up splitting after that was simply for the fact that I was literally across the country, and at the time they wanted to be more serious, and so that's when the show started happening. And they went with Ryan, who's great, kills it. And yeah, I've kind of watched the band from afar just because I've have kind of personal investment in the band, and I was super happy. Obviously, it's a little bittersweet, because I was hoping the best for everyone's goals to align, and the group, as Sagen was previously, to be successful. So it was kind of sad to see that break up, but it was also sweet that it's like, oh, I get to be a part of this project again. So I was pretty thrilled about that. In terms of how the project's going so far, I think we're at, would you say, about 6.5 songs, give or take, or 7?
I think right now it's 5.5. There's five completed demos of music, and then the last one I was working on.
Yeah, I think it's really sick. I don't know how much to give away, like, but I think we're treading, still maintaining a similar sound, but still, adventuring out, trying to do new things. I don't know. That's like kind of what I love about music is how it evolves over time. And I feel like you can really hear it from the first album to now,
Gotcha. So obviously this is going to be different from the previous album.
Oh, yeah.
It's still Sagen. It's still, coming from the heart. I want to say coming from the heart, but it sounds too cliche. It's still coming from, your artistic mind. It's still got that end goal. What is as far as like the sound goes, is there anything, new that you guys are experimenting with? I mean, obviously, the vocals, you're going to hear a slight change in the vocal style. Like, let's talk about that. Like, is it, kind of like a kill switch engage kind of difference in vocal styles, or yeah, I'll let you explain.
The one thing, so like Ryan was like, I commend him for, and it's something everyone's got their own thing that they're good at. I think Ryan was like super good at like being uber brutal.
Oh, there was a point where like one of the music videos they put out where Ryan was just like with his like tongue out and shit, and I was like, this man is a lunatic. What is going on?
I tend to, not to undersell myself, but I am a little bit more subdued in comparison, and I try to like pick my spots for like really dramatic moments. And in terms of like sound, I can just go by like what people compare my voice to. A lot of people compare my voice to Randy from Lamb of God and Tommy Rogers from Between the Buried and Me. So
okay, I'm good with that. That's it's two great people to be compared to as far as vocal styles goes. Definitely not going to be disappointed there. Are there any spots? Because like when I listened to the previous album, obviously it's very, it's very growly. Is this one going to be kind of cleaner in a way, or is it still got that same level of growliness?
So I'm intending to have a little bit more clean aspects. I I'm when it comes to music, one aspect that I'm a big fan of is contrast. And so I feel like the kind of the easiest way to get contrast as a vocalist, especially in this genre, is to have, screaming parts and singing parts and kind of leveling that out and, figuring out the best balance. But yeah, in comparison to the previous album, I do expect there'll be more cleans in comparison for sure.
Hell yeah. And something that I didn't ask, but I feel like I should just for, context here. What is your background in singing? Like obviously we've talked about bands that you've been in the past, but like how'd you get into it? Like I
Kind of funny.
did I did a lot of singing, back when I could actually still sing, by doing like choir and theater, in high school and that kind of stuff. But like what spurred your journey into vocals and then spurred it into singing in metal bands?
Yeah. So it's actually really silly. So when I was a kid, I had a little bit of exposure just singing it, and when I was in church and stuff like that. That was kind of like my intro to singing. I like hated it at the time, but that little bit, I think it was good to experience that at a young age and learn some things. Um, when me and my friend Derek was in our first band, I was nowhere near vocals. I was the bassist for the band. And at some point we were doing our first album and our vocalist only sung and did the screams, but in the middle of the production process refused to do screams for the album because they were afraid about their voice health. And I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do it. So
You're the stand-in. Gotcha.
so I just did it. And in like few hours, I knocked some out. It sounded like horrible, obviously, because like I was just winging it. But that was like the initial spark, and I was like, oh, I may be onto something. And me and Derek kind of worked in other bands, and we did this joke song where I did vocals, and I sent it to a friend who was in a band called Lions for Lambs. And
It's a kick-ass name.
yeah. And I was just sent it as a joke, like, isn't this funny? And he responded like, hey, do you want to join the band? And I was like, oh, sure. And we had a nice little like 4-ish year stint, and we got to tour the East Coast and stuff. But that was kind of what got me in metal bands. And from that moment on, like, I've always tried to keep myself active musically and use it as a creative outlet. And yeah, so I've kind of been doing metal music from that point onward, which was about 2010. So for the past 13 years, over the years, it got me a little makeshift studio, and I just love doing metal vocals. And when it comes to like any type of training singing wise, like singing and screaming wise, all really self-taught. I mean, I use the internet as a resource, which is super helpful, especially for screaming, because there's so few resources, and if you're not
There's
doing
so
it
many
right,
ways that you can destroy your voice and so little amount of actual ways to be taught how to do it properly.
yeah. And like, I'm just really happy that I got the right resources and was able to kind of protect my voice before I like blew it out, because when I started it, I was doing it so terribly wrong.
Right.
Singing
with the throat and not the gut, right?
That was a big one, yeah.
So like that's one of the things that I know, like to sing with, like, if you're going for that kind of visceral sound, to like have it come from the gut and not the throat, because you will literally destroy your vocal cords. But when it actually comes to doing like the screaming and the growling, this is actually something I run an entire metal podcast. I've never actually, been able to learn the mystifying secret of this. How do you actually like do it?
You mean,
like, what's like, if say I'm a completely new person to singing, and that's what I want to do, what would you tell me to do?
I think the easiest way to try and get the muscles engaged used is kind of whenever you give an exacerbated sigh, what you want to do, the muscles you engage there, you want to, the hard part is engaging your diaphragm and using those, but like, as you
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Where'd he go?
Where is he? He's frozen.
We're never gonna learn how to scream.
That was it. The government was on to us. We couldn't find out. God damn it, Steven. This is all your fault.
Yeah, it probably is.
It's Greenpeace.
Oh no, I explained it so much. Where did it stop?
Okay. So where it stopped was you were kind of talking about giving an exacerbated sigh.
Oh, okay. Oh man.
I'm so sorry. That's terrible. We'll
Okay.
never know the secret.
So, um, th- so did you get the example that I gave of the test?
No, you were kind of
Oh
stuck
no.
like that and frozen on the screen. And
So
I blamed Steven because of his killing whales. I said it was Greenpeace. They were onto us.
so yeah, when you think about an exacerbated sigh, those are the muscles that you'll be engaging, and you kind of want to project that outward. So when and that in conjunction with like your mouth moving is how you can make the words and articulate. um there's I feel like that's the easiest way to kind of get started. There's a lot more things you can do with your throat and mouth to kind of change the color of your screaming vocals.
Okay.
But that's like the gist. I think that's a good like starting point. The and you kind of talked about it a little bit, but like using your diaphragm is like the most important thing in terms of keeping your throat healthy, I would say.
Right. Like you don't want to, like with your throat, you want to kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
that kind of stuff, because then it's down here, and this can handle a lot more punishment than up here, because
Mhm.
that's up here is weak. You don't want to do that. If there's one thing I learned being, bass and soprano in choir class, it's please don't scream. Nobody wants to hear somebody be murdered,
Yeah.
you know. But okay. I mean, thank you for that. Thank you for saying it twice, because it got cut out. And
But yeah,
I'm
I guess quick summary. You want the volume to come from your diaphragm, and how when you articulate, what you do with your throat and mouth is basically what you use to create like what type of sound you want.
awesome. Thank you. This is very educational. I try to keep it interesting here on Metal for the Masses. Mr. Steven, we haven't talked to you in a second here. So we've talked about what's kind of new vocal wise on this new album that you guys are going to be dropping, which has been promptly called Whalefall. What is different for you on this album as opposed to the previous one that you guys released? What are you experimenting with anything new, or is it same formula, at least for guitars?
Um, so for the guitars, it's a lot of the same formula, but up a notch. I think a lot of the songs are a lot faster. I think there's a lot more tech death. It's almost like the deathcore influences from the last album have been replaced with more tech death type stuff. Um, that then I've also been able to experiment more with the drums and stuff. Um, Derek and I have at times similar styles, but a lot of the times uh, we differ in approach and stuff. Which he's probably better suited for it because he's a drummer and I'm not. But I do have certain things that I like to do when it comes to trying to like form a connection with the riffs and the drums. And I do it a certain way that I just like personally. So that'll be different. But aside from that, um, also, I mean, same thing with Jordan. Jordan's guitar solos and mine very different stylistically. Um, and I've been able. It's been nice going back to because I started out playing just trying to learn every guitar solo that I could back when I was like 14, 15. And then when I started Sagen years ago, I switched more to like the rhythm guy and doing all the riffs and stuff like that. So it is really nice to be able to go back and really take a lot of time in trying to make some cool solos. So that's been really fun. I guess the biggest difference between this and the last album is just this one's way more fun to write.
That's awesome.
And there's just a lot more of me in it for the music. And I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but
I'm sensing a lot of narcissism in this interview right now. See, the best part about this album is there's a lot more of myself. It's an album about me. There's more me, and that's what makes
the whale.
Fun. Right. He is the whale. Look at me.
No,
I am
that's
the whale
not what
now.
I meant though. I just mean it's been more fun of just kind of doing whatever that I want creatively than kind of, having to think of other things, which is nice to get clashing styles, because then you kind of come up with new things at times. But this one is just it's felt more personal to me this time.
You have a lot. It feels like, from what you're saying, it feels like you have like a lot more artistic control. You're not it's more like, not in the narcissistic way. It's more, more of you.
Yeah.
But it from a from an artistic standpoint, it's majority. It's more you. You can see yourself,
because it's gone from like maybe 75% to, it's just 100. So nice. Now, and it's kind of how I wanted it to begin with. But I don't know, the riffs are coming along pretty great, I think, and the structures are interesting, and I'm having a lot of fun listening back to everything, and I just can't wait to get vocals on them, Adam.
Same.
I can't help but notice. I was about to say, I can't help but notice, anybody who's going to be listening to the audio of this, you won't get to see it, but in the when this eventually airs on YouTube, there's a wild animal here in the chat.
It's like, wait, was it the interview we did with you when Jordan couldn't get his camera to work, and so he was just a cat emoji or something?
Yep, he was just a cat emoji. That was that was before I had YouTube up. I had a YouTube account, so that one, people never got to see the cat emoji, but right. It's all come full circle now.
That's so funny.
Steven,
I'm very excited with this album.
Awesome. I do have one more question for you. So I've interviewed Sagen, I want to say a total now of 3 times. This would be the 3rd. And sir, you look different every single time, because you've been on this this weight loss, muscle gain journey. When we first interviewed you, you were a little bit bigger in the face. Second, a lot bigger in the. I was trying to be modest. The first time we interviewed you, you were a little bit bigger in the face. The second time, you had really cut a lot, and you were a lot thinner in the face, and now you seem to be at the happy medium here. Have you noticed any kind of like difference, playing, now that you're, I would say, in a much healthier lifestyle?
Playing live for sure, because I remember, so because my weight has been fluctuating because of a disease that I was diagnosed with. Before I was diagnosed with it, we played a gig. That would have been November like 7th, I think, 2020, and I think it was called the Raven Festival. It might have been a different festival, but anyways, I was about to pass out because I was probably 140 pounds playing up on stage, and I'm 6'2". So I lost pretty much all of the weight, and I was losing a lot of blood. And then I got put on some corticosteroids called prednisone, for my disease, and it makes you eat everything.
Yo.
So I would eat like 2 chicken breasts, probably 5 potatoes worth of roasted potatoes, a weight gainer shake that had like 1,200 calories in it, and then I'd have like a brownie. 15
Just
minutes later,
just the cherry on top, brownie.
15 minutes later, I'd be like, man, I'm so freaking hungry. I need food.
It's awful.
So I gained 100 pounds in 9 months. That's probably around when we first did our first one, when I was puffier. Because it also, the medicine, they call it moon face. You retain a lot of water in your, you just get like an oval face kind of deal. But then I started to wean off that, and I was working out like crazy and got in better shape. And it was really fun because I was able to get in pretty good shape for the music video that we did for Crux. But then, you get on set, you got to stand next to freaking Ryan, the giant powerlifting beast.
That dude is huge, like not in a bad way. My man is literally a freaking Greek god.
And the funniest thing about him being like massive and kind of like looks crazy in all the videos and stuff, he's actually one of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of blew my mind. Like after we started hanging out and stuff and practicing, I'm like, man, do not judge a book by its cover, because he's a nice dude.
You think strong guys are just mean? Like,
well, based on the vocals and stuff, and
the fuck out of here, you skinny ass nerd! Just shoves him in a locker.
So yeah, I worked pretty hard to get in shape, and then showed up on set and felt pretty small. So it's like, all right, I got to keep going.
We're all on different journeys, my man. We're all on different stages of our journey.
Yeah. So I'm glad you've noticed my hard work, because it's been pretty tough.
Oh yeah. I think you posted I don't know if it was on your personal account or on Sagen's account. I'm not sure, but there was like a before and after where like you were like super thin. You could see your rib cage, and then like then you just got super shredded. I was like, good for that guy. Yeah. But I didn't know about the underlying condition. I thought it was like a whole like health journey thing. Yeah. So I was like kind of wanting to be like guiding the conversation into, see, if you get healthy, you can play better, Yeah.
Well, I do think that one thing is, when I was bigger, it was hard to, make videos to show people. Like, I'd record riffs to show Jordan and stuff. And it was kind of hard just like sharing videos of me. I'd look back in the video and be like, man, you can see my belly like really, really bad. So it's almost like there was a giant confidence switch. So I definitely think that probably hindered a little bit of the playing. But it's been fun. I have these crazy stretch marks though.
Oh,
and I have a funny story. I told my dad about it. I was complaining about it, because he would compliment me on my fitness journey and whatever, and the progress, and I'd be like, yeah, but I got these giant stretch marks, and I had just had a baby. He's like, yeah, but you just had a baby. It's usually, sometimes women will get stretch marks.
No, I know. That's like some shit that my dad would probably say.
Yeah. So I think that's a funny thing, but it's nice to feel better. I'm able to kind of focus a lot better too. I think just being healthier, being able to focus on the music and stuff.
Hell yeah. Speaking of focusing on the music, we got to focus on the music here. So there's not, so from what I'm gathering from you guys, there's not a whole lot you guys can divulge about the album. It's you guys just made a post about it today. Thank you for that tag. It means a lot.
Yes.
What can you, I mean, we've divulged a little bit here from you guys. Is there any more that you can kind of spill the beans on this without getting in trouble with your people?
There we are. So last album, Roots of Proctor got a lot of hate for the album cover being
I
AI
saw
generated.
that being
Yeah.
AI generated. I was like, I I don't know what your guys' feelings of it is. I mean, I is there like a very, I mean, obviously you, Steven, you used AI art for it, so you're definitely, of the who cares camp. Um, sir, like what's your take on AI art? Are you for or against?
Um, I feel more indifferent
Gotcha.
to it than anything. I I I have an understanding of like both sides of the thing. Um, I'm just not I'm not super passionate about it one way or another.
Right.
Um, but I know that's like the most political answer I could give, but
Like,
that's
it's fine.
legit
I mean, like
how I
I
feel.
can give I AI art in as far as I'm concerned, I don't care so much if somebody wants to use an AI art generator for an album cover. It's the rise of AI artists that I'm more touchy
Mm,
about. Like
Yeah,
you have people being able to make a program to have SpongeBob sing Nirvana, and that
yeah,
gets a million views, and somebody else
and you
is
get
like,
Plankton singing anything is amazing.
oh, see, I'd have to. I knew
My
you were going to
other
be one
guilty
of these
pleasure
people.
is when they put James Hetfield, like, and Justice for All era, they'll put his voice on songs. Dude, I love those.
I have watched a couple of those, and while they are funny, at the end of the day, I know somebody somewhere is sitting in their dark basement being, how can I create the next
yeah,
top artist without actually, having
Yeah,
any talent? All I can do is make a computer program do it. And that to me is what's scary in the new modern age, or the potential modern age of music, where the actual, physical artist or the physical musician, the physical singer is not there. It's not a real thing. It's not a real person. And that I get the argument when they try to make it for AI art, because you're taking, a craft away from somebody else.
yeah,
Um, I didn't think the album looked bad. I mean, it definitely looked AI generated. I mean, I've seen AI generated pics. It, it looked
yeah,
AI generated for sure, but it didn't look bad. It looked pretty cool. So
yeah,
I'll agree that there's like a middle ground. Like there's a fine line right now to walk with AI. Um, I would think that people getting pissy about AI art, I think that they need to be more concerned with AI artists, you know.
yeah.
But
But the thing that with that, um, I thought it was weird just seeing those comments like that it's not metal, and it's like, you know what, it's kind of not metal to complain about something not following the rules or something like that. So I decided, you know what, screw it, I'll paint the next artwork. So I'm drawing the new album cover currently, um kind of like a uh I don't know what you would call it, but that's one of the other things that we can divulge, I
are
guess.
we able to get an exclusive sneak peek at the rough draft of Whalefall?
We, as in you?
We, as in Metal for the Masses, here on this show right now, so that when this airs on YouTube, people can see the beauty of it all.
Yeah. Um.
Or do we want to go the Howard Stern route, where he has hookers come onto the radio show and just, and they pretend like they're getting naked on air?
If I had a little bit of a blurred out version, I think we could, but it's not done yet.
Gotcha. No
Yeah.
worries.
But it's looking good.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
currently
the
well, can't say that.
is it a dead whale?
Um,
Did I just
we cannot confirm nor deny the presence of a dead, decaying whale,
Gotcha.
but there might be.
I
I
also
think
saw
I can't wait to see the activists have like a freaking meltdown when they see that.
oh dude,
It's
somebody's
not like we're
always gonna bitch and
glorifying the
complain.
killing of whales.
Somebody's always gonna bitch and complain, and
Yeah.
that's the harsh reality here. And you just gotta, I don't know. I would just reply back to even the same people that are like AI art, just be like, well, fuck you. You know?
Yeah.
Just
Well,
don't listen to
the
it.
really annoying one instance that it happened was the guy was like, man, they just threw some stuff together. They didn't even like give good prompts, like had nothing to do with anything. And it's like it actually very, very strongly symbolizes what the entire like everything that's going on in the album is in that picture. So yes, it does. And we didn't make it. We paid someone for it because they made it. And
So
we
you
just
paid
liked how-
somebody to make an AI generated image for you.
Well, so what they do is they'll generate a bunch of images, and then I think the ones that the guy likes more, he'll go into Photoshop and add more details and spice it up more, stuff like that.
So there you go. You didn't, in fact, take away from somebody else's craft. You paid
Yeah.
somebody, a physical person
Mhm.
was paid to generate an image, which then they would then edit for you and give you a finished product. So bing, bang, boom.
It was
Yeah.
either
All the
that or
haters.
pay this guy $750 for one.
Yeah, well,
Those were our two options that we boiled down to, and I was like, because the idea that we had for the original cover was it was okay, but it wasn't like once we saw the cover that is now, the picture for that, we were like, all right, dude, that's perfect. That
Right.
fits so well. And we found two pictures, the front and the back cover. And we were like, yes, okay, we like this. The original concept was like, I think it was supposed to be you were kind of looking like your view was split by the ground, so you could see underground, and there'd be these roots and stuff, and under the roots would be all these like symbols and stuff, and on top would be these three guys.
see, I'll be completely honest with you. I saw just like one big face in the
Yeah.
album cut. Like I feel like it's all subjective, which is what art is, but I just saw
Yeah.
this one
Yeah.
big, like, cloudy looking face. And that's what I saw.
My brother kept asking if it was Snoke from Star Wars.
It was Snoke.
And
I
we
can
keep
see
getting
it.
we keep getting comments. People say, "Is that I think it's called Wojak? Is that what it's called?"
Oh, I don't
It's
know.
like some internet meme picture face.
I
don't know.
Not initiated.
I'm not
Something like that.
while this is an internet radio show / podcast, I am not of the internet. So I am not up to date on my terminology and my memes. I think I just figured out what the Chad meme is. I know the dude with the butterfly is this, whatever.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't keep up with my memes, and I also can't keep up with the internet lingo. I feel like a crotchety old man half the time. It's like, what do you kids even mean?
Yeah, I had a moment like that where I had to ask an 18-year-old here who lives here. It's like, why do I keep seeing Leonardo DiCaprio. Wait,
has he
wasn't
has he
him in
did he
the number
die?
25? I'm like, what does that mean? So she had to explain that to me.
So among other things, you guys have almost a celebrity fan that I have found out, and he is the former voice actor of Chowder. He was actually gracious enough to come onto the show here and do a sit down talk. He absolutely loves you guys, loves Sagen, and to be completely honest, I'm shocked that that not only it reached, not only the voice of Chowder is a huge metalhead, because now all I can think of is that Cartoon Network show with, you know, Sagen. Now it's forever connected into my mind here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but two, I
Great
mean,
guy.
it phenomenal guy.
We've actually become pretty close friends too. Like I wouldn't even consider him like a fan anymore. He's more just like a friend.
Yeah.
And he loves metal. It's awesome. We talk about all this new stuff that's coming out, and it's always a good time. Yeah.
Who do you think you're with this coming? I mean, Roots of Proctor. I mean, he was, you know, your celebrity fan here.
Yeah.
With this, you know, next album, Whalefall. I mean, like, who do you think it'll be? Is it going to be like, is it going to be like Taylor Swift? Is she going to dump that Kelsey guy and start dating one of you guys? Is it going to be it's going to happen here? Who's the celebrity guest for Whalefall? Who can we speculate?
Oh man. Okay. Who really likes whales?
That's how you're gonna go for it.
Bro, this is how we're doing it. Who really likes whales? Who's a really big whale
enthusiast?
Right.
Gojira has an album called Flying Wells.
Dude, that would be cool.
Or is that the album name? I think that's the album name.
Yeah,
I think they have
from,
I think it's called
Mars to
From Mars to Sirius.
Yeah, but Flying Wells is a song on it. But there's a Flying Well on the album art, whatever.
Who's the one that's is it I'm thinking of Mastodon has the giant white whale on one of the albums. And I'm always
they had that song Blood and Thunder. Is that the same album?
I believe it is, but I might be wrong.
We'll say maybe one of those bands, the whole band will be
the whole band.
For Mastodon or Gojira will be the celebrity fan.
Celebrity guest appearance.
Yeah.
I don't know if the guys in Mastodon like metal that much.
Yeah, but our album but our album's gonna be so good that it will transcend their interest.
So good. Such nice whale depictions.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like a concept album, like all of Tool's albums are. It's gonna transcend, and it's gonna evoke something deep inside them that they didn't know they had, and they're just gonna love Sagen.
A generational work of art.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put out I hope Sandra Bullock is our next big fan.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Why Sandra Bullock?
She needs it. She needs
a whale in her life.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the exclusive info here on if you get anything from this Sagen interview, Sandra Bullock, she needs whales in her life, and that's why she's the celebrity guest fan for the next Sagen album.
Yep.
Oh man, that's funny. I don't think I can think of anything else after that, unless you guys have anything else you guys want to add to what we've been talking about here. I think we got everything that at least everything that I think we need from this. Besides maybe, you know, where can people find you and when can we expect Whalefall to be released?
I would like to mention two things quickly. So we're also in my good friend Michael Candelario, he's in the process of writing the draft for a book for all of these stories and stuff. So we're really excited about that. And then also the signing with Soda Records and Metal Inc. has been great. We got a lot of love from that announcement today. And then I'm sorry, what was your question? To
Where
finish
can
No,
they
up?
find
no.
us?
Yeah, where can they find you if they want to go follow you? And when can we expect Whalefall to come out?
So to find us, you can. The easiest place is probably Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. For any of those, Facebook, type in Sagen, we should pop up. Instagram, Sagen_NC for North Carolina, and then I believe if you go there, you'll find all of our links. But that's where you go. For the album date, we don't have one yet because we're still writing. But should we tell them how many songs there are?
Yeah, we can say that. That's
Okay. So we have 5.5 done. I'm still working on finishing one, and then after that, we want a total of 9 songs for the album. So not too much longer until it's done writing and vocals and mixing, everything like that. The artwork's almost done. So it's just a matter of getting the ducks in a row alongside
Gotcha.
the whale.
Why?
But we're hoping early summer, late spring, hopefully. But we're not sure. We gotta talk to Sam at Soda Records and everything, figure out the release schedule and everything like that with singles. So
Is there any kind of significance with there being 9 songs?
no, just
No.
I didn't want to write anymore. Originally we were just gonna take a while and write 24 songs for a full double album with this album and the next album. But then I was like, dude, I don't have time for that. I can't. Let's just do something a lot smaller. And nine is kind of like the area of length that I like in albums. 9, 10. So, but we settled on 9. We're excited. We got the storyline broken up into songs and stuff like that. Got the song names that we're not going to tell you yet. And but yeah, it's coming along pretty good. So I'm hoping we'll get some sort of music out late spring, if anything, if it's a single or whatever we're going to be doing. But I'm pretty excited.
Nice. And sir, Mr. Amazing Vocalist, newest member of Sagen, is there anything you want to add here? Do you have any kind of social media that other people can go follow you at if you have any other side projects going on?
For now, I do have projects, but they're like in infancy that they haven't even been named yet. So there hasn't even been like social media. But I'm sure we'll talk in the future and I can give any other little projects I'm in. But yeah, anything else to add? Not really. I'm just super excited to put music out. It's always a fun moment for me. And I think probably the most fun when it comes just doing music is probably the creation portion. The second for me would probably be like once you finally finished making your baby, putting it out into the world and getting reactions and stuff. Good or bad, it's fine. I don't know. A lot of criticism. Any criticism I get, I always, just chalk it up to the subjectivity of music. But the hope is most people like it.
That's always the hope.
Bullock.
especially Sandra Bullock. Gentlemen, we'll end it there. Thank you for coming on to the show and divulging some information on the next album, Whalefall. I'm always super excited to have you guys on the show because there's always something special whenever Sagen graces our presence because it's always something new. There's never anything like stagnant and mundane going on with you guys. You guys are always up to something. Whether it's good or bad, you guys are always up to something.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
No problem. You guys can find Sagen anywhere that you can, social mediaize. It's what is it? Sagen _NC on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yep.
SAGEE. Wait.
Yeah.
EN. I'm kind of tired today.
SAGEN _NC for North Carolina on Instagram. And they got links to all the rest of their awesome stuff there. Go like, go follow, go subscribe, smash the like button, at murder the like button, murder the subscribe button, all that fun shit. And keep blowing these guys up. They're good stuff. Gentlemen, thank you for being a part of Metal for the Masses once again.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Been a pleasure.